Okay, this bathroom is wrapped up as far as I'm going to take it for now. Got all the drywall hung, sorted out all the plumbing here. What I did on the plumbing is typically, like on a new construction, the pipes would just come out and they would be capped off so it could be pressure tested. Then later the drywall hangers would come in and hang the drywall, and then when it came to finish it out, the plumber would come in and cut the caps off and then fit, in this case, compression valves like this. I'm not doing it that way. I didn't want to bother capping them off and recutting them, so I just put new stops on, new escutcheons, and this one here is actually not glued. I cut this off close and then I heated it up, the piece of pipe that was in there, heated it up with a heat gun and then cut a slice in it, got a hold of it with some needle nose and just spun out that core. This is the way they would typically be roughed in. Instead of having a pipe glued here that is sticking out way long and then have to try to get up underneath the vanity or something and cut it off to the proper length, it's just easier to take this out, hold up your P-trap and get everything where you want it, measure that pipe, then glue it in. So that's the way I'm going to be attacking this. I'll be doing the other ones identically to that. This is actually the shut-off, the main shut-off. This runs directly from the meter to here. I don't like its placement in the house, but that's where they brought it in, and then it starts looping in the wall and going out to the hot water tank and other bathrooms and kitchen sinks and things of that nature. I got all this laid out, and this is actually a mistake. I'm going to show it. You can see my hole here. I had it laid out right, but when I went and measured and marked this, I was an inch off my measurement for some reason. Nobody's perfect. It can be fixed, but I kind of beat myself up on things like this because I'm actually pretty good about marking layouts and everything just fits. I take my time. So, little boo-boo on my part. No big deal. Alright, a little more demolition going on in the kitchen. Tore the drywall off there. Getting ready to hang the new. Okay, here's a quick shot of the kitchen with all the drywall hung back up. It's looking pretty good. Alright, well, I've been waiting for a couple of weeks to get a dry spell. It seems like whenever we would get scheduled up to get some dirt work done, it would rain the day of or the day before. So finally got it taken care of last week, late in the week. It's now Monday. I've got a truckload of sod, a pallet here I'm getting ready to lay down, especially over in this area right there. The rest of it's just been covered over with dirt, so it'll grow back through it. So I'm going to get some starter down, get this laid down, and then wet it in real good. It's supposed to rain tomorrow or the next day, so that'll take care of some watering for me until it takes off. Well, alright, there it is. I laid down 2 pallets of sod, so $140 worth of dirt work, a little bit of fertilizer, 2 pallets of sod, $300, 2 aching backs, and 1 pulled quad. Alright, well, it's door detail day. I finally get to get rid of these old nasty sliding patio doors here. I'm gonna put in this set right here. There's the frame. Just my wife and I, so I have to break them out and haul everything in pieces. Alright, well, the new doors have been installed. That's a vast improvement if you ask me. I still need to install the trim on the outside and insulate. And here's a quick shot of the back doors all trimmed and finished out, paint and all. The doors themselves need to be painted. Alright, we've got a new side door put in here. Looking good. I've got the trim ready to go. I just need to install it on the outside. My wife had done a wash treatment on the fireplace. It looks much better than what it did. It was really cave-like and dark. So it's a nice grayish tone here. Still looks natural. Nothing much to look at. All trimmed out and painted on the outside. Just need to paint the door itself. Well, this is the side door that was on the garage. It was in pretty bad shape, so I started putting a new one in, and I'll show you what I found. When I took that side door out, I started seeing some old abandoned termite tunnels, and they had just done a number on the king stud and the jack stud and the door frame, both sides. There's an example of the bottom of one of them, just hammered. There's a nice hole. It's almost totally through the wood. So it's been all ripped out so I can fix it. Well, this is where they were getting in. They were coming through this way, ate through the bottom plate and went straight up into the king stud and the jack stud, like I said. It's good right there. So this little section will be cut out and I'll put in some treated there. I'll do the same thing on the other side of the doorway. But thankfully they were just localized to about this high right here on both sides. But they sure did a number. So, you know, you can see I've got the whole wall opened up now. So I need to go get some materials and frame this in so I can get back in action. It's never fun to find stuff like this, but thankfully there was no activity. It was abandoned, like I said. All right, shutting it down for the day. It's getting late. Got this frame back in. It's looking good now. I'm gonna board it up and get back on it tomorrow and finish it up. Didn't anticipate having to segue off into stuff like this, but it happens. Once you open something up, you might be open for a big surprise. All right, well, I got this door installed. Everything's wrapped up. It's just a matter of putting the trim on the outside. Do that tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and start taking this one out and replacing it. Can't wait to get this going. You can see that's been kicked in. Well, alright, I got this door wrapped up. It's looking good. This actually completes the installation of all the doors and windows with the exception of a little bit of trim I still have yet to do. Then I'll be moving on to something else. And this is the door where all the termite damage was on the side of the garage. Finished it up as well, aside from painting the door. Well, here's a shot of the front door. This was set by the previous owner, and the way they had the trim done over here, I guess this might have been a piece of the original trim, I'm not sure, and then they had another piece, but they used the brick mold, and then they took the old piece of trim and just slapped it right on top of this with a couple of nails. And then at the top, right here above the brick mold, there was nothing. It was just a big open hole, and you could see the stuff for the siding. So I fit a piece in there and then just used a filler right here and caulked it. This is my least favorite looking one as far as the trim goes, but that's what I had to work with. And on this other side, this was just totally open all the way to there, so it wasn't worth trying to replace this and scribe down. So I just packed this full of mortar down through here. I'm not sure if it's showing up, but just cleaned that hole up. So it doesn't look bad in the hole when you stand back and just kind of glance at it, but if you really look at the detail, it's I wouldn't consider it the best work. Alright, well, hopefully you can see all the damage underneath this set of windows here. Getting ready to address all of this. This is old, like, pressed board siding. It's fine until water gets to it. If water gets to it, it's like MDF. It just disappears. So I'll dig all of this out. Everything's going to be rough cedar in here all the way down, so that will take care of that. Okay, I finished replacing all the trim on this window. It's been all caulked in and painted. You know, we added, this is all rough cedar, but we added an accent strip that goes around the corner on the bottom. Hopefully you can see that, as well as one that goes across the top. It looks a lot better than it did for sure. Alright, well, this is the wall that was in the bedroom that had the sliding glass door on it, where we framed it up and put in this window. Just got through hanging the siding on the outside. The profile of all I could get was a little bit different. Not enough to really notice it unless you really stare at it, so the corner lines don't match up entirely accurately, but it looks pretty good overall.